Tonight, a police officer is in surgery after he was shot in Cayo. We'll have details. And we'll take you to Punta Gorda, where a 3-year-old child drowned. But what was he doing? Wandering more than a mile from home. Plus, police say there was no foul play in the death at sea of an elderly Canadian. Also, we'll tell you about the problem Jaguar caught this weekend in Lemonal. His capture has raised many questions. We've got details of these and all the stories in our newscast for tonight, Monday, March 16th, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indira Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. DigiWallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
El rotavirus es una de las principales causas de diarrea acuosa severa y vómitos en niños. Puede causar deshidratación severa y hospitalizaciones. La buena noticia es que la vacuna contra el rotavirus ya está disponible. Se administra por gotas orales a los 2, 4 y 6 meses de edad. Protege tu bebé. Visite hoy su centro de salud más cercano.
$4.3 million was paid for legal and professional fees in relation to Petrocaribe. And another $4 million is projected to be spent every year for the next 3 years. $16 million in legal and professional advisory fees. What we done in Petrocaribe in 2016.
The government's blue bond carried another $85 million in transaction costs. That's tens of millions more in legal and advisory fees. So who's collecting?
Show those fees!
Exposed by Freedom of Information requests, the government admitted Courtney Coy LLP was paid $227,000 on just one disclosed contract. How many more are there? So while millions of dollars are being spent, the Prime Minister is begging Washington for help securing our borders.
It is important that we get the necessary assistance, especially from the United States. We need equipment. We need intelligence.
But there's no shortage of millions for legal and advisory services.
Who is getting those legal and professional advisory fees?
It's time to come clean, Mr. Prime Minister.
We have centralized systems of corruption in this government.
Imagine, a ref calls a technical on LeBron, ejects him, then walks to the bench, puts on a jersey, and checks into the game to take LeBron's place. WTH? That's what happened at the central bank. First, Kareem Michael was a deputy governor for financial supervision, basically the referee for the banks. And while he was in charge of that department, Choice Banks' license was cancelled. Not too long after, Mr. Michael resigned from the central bank and went as a paid private contractor to run the shutdown of the same Choice Bank. When he was finished, he simply walked right back into his old job at the central bank. Who does that? An arrogant Belizean public servant who knows all and thinks he's too big for his judgment to be questioned by anyone.
Glenfield Dennison was caught trying to charge BTL for negotiations on behalf of former workers.
He insists he never charged the workers group a cent and claims the invoice was only a negotiating tactic.
If the invoice was just a negotiating tactic, why would Dennison ask BTL to pay the legal fees as part of settlement? And if BTL had agreed, who would have received payment? Dennison, of course, because he sent the invoice the day after the last negotiations to be considered with the 4.5% interest requested by BCWJ. What's worse, the cost of legal work submitted is grossly inflated. Those are senior counsel rates, and Dennison is not a senior counsel. As to the tax identification number on the invoice, no such TIN number is registered with GST, so we must also ask whether he is licensed with the FIU as required. There's also the question of whether as a Crown Counsel Dennison violated the public service rules which state a judicial and legal officer shall not engage in any private legal work or private business of a legal nature. It's time for him to stop the games and come clean.
4.3 million was paid for legal and professional fees in relation to Petrocaribe, and another 4 million is projected to be spent every year for the next 3 years. 16 million in legal and professional advisory fees. What we done with Petrocaribe in 2016.
The government's blue bond carried another 85 million in transaction costs. That's tens of millions more in legal and advisory fees. So who's collecting?
Show those fees!
Exposed by Freedom of Information requests, the government admitted Courtney Coy LLP was paid $227,000 on just one disclosed contract. How many more are there? So while millions of dollars are being spent, the Prime Minister is begging Washington for help securing our borders.
It is important that we get the necessary assistance, especially from the United States. We need equipment. We need intelligence.
But there's no shortage of millions for legal and advisory services.
Who is getting those legal and professional advisory fees?
It's time to come clean, Mr. Prime Minister.
We have centralized systems of corruption in this government.
At Atlantic Bank, your convenience is our priority. Our contact center is designed to enhance your banking experience. With a wide range of customer service options, you save time and effort. You can easily call in to block or unblock your debit and credit cards, perform account inquiries, and access detailed card information. Whether you need assistance with online banking, merchant support, or general inquiries, our team is ready to help. For added convenience, if all operators are busy, you can leave your number and an operator will return your call as soon as possible to ensure you receive the support you need. Depending on your transaction type, we may need to verify your identity through a set of security questions. And remember, Atlantic Bank will never request your username or password for Atlantic Online via phone call, text, or email, ensuring your personal information remains safe and secure. Our support team is available Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. in both English and Spanish. Simply dial 223-1212. This is a dedicated line for our contact center. Atlantic Bank is committed to providing you with exceptional service and the tools you need to manage your finances conveniently and securely. Take full advantage of our easy-to-use contact center services today.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
In a democracy, what is good for the government cannot be bad for the people. And what is good for the people cannot be bad for the government.
We came a long way. It's like over 16 years that it was basically like 2-3 houses in that area.
It was wild.
One high bush
like jungle. I want to take me lick. Say no water, no light. I tell her no about that. We have to figure it out.
You know, you wonder how long it will take for this to happen.
A year ago, you were considered squatters.
We made a picado and we came in. I made a teenager. Everybody said it was swamp, it was swamp. When we get in here, it was like gold.
Today, you're landowners.
Very
this that for we, and we proud of this. Now we are claiming our house on the land.
We have worked so hard to make this happen for us.
This is a beautiful day, folks, because we are taking care of the people who have taken care of us. Because we wouldn't be here today without you.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight, a police officer is said to be in a stable condition after he was reportedly shot this afternoon. Sergeant Dallon Kelly was shot this afternoon in the Maya Ranch area of Georgeville, where he is stationed. Half an hour ago, police reported that they have detained one man and seized a 9mm pistol as part of the investigation into the shooting. Initial reports indicate that at approximately 3:30 p.m., Sergeant Kelly, along with other police officers, responded to a report of a disturbance in the Maya Ranch area, located approximately 4 miles along the road to Mountain Pine Ridge. During the course of the police response to the disturbance, Sergeant Kelly was reportedly shot by the suspect. Kelly was transported to the hospital where he is currently undergoing treatment and is reported to be in a stable condition. For context, we note that 7 News has been following up on a land dispute between squatting farmers and private landowners in this area since January, when there was a complaint of attempted murder by the property manager. He claimed one of the farmers tried to shoot him and run him over in the presence of forestry officers. Police were also a part of the response to the dispute in that conflict-heavy area. Heartbreak in the South tonight following the death of a 3-year-old little boy. Little Asher Mejia was reportedly missing on Sunday afternoon, sparking a search that ended in tragedy when he was found drowned in the sea off Punta Gorda town. Our reporter Jaleesa Roberts went down south today and has this report.
3-year-old Asher Mejia, the youngest of 7 siblings, was found in the water here, near the wharf on Front Street in Punta Gorda town, across from St. Peter Claver School, shortly after midday on Sunday. The child had been missing from his home for a few hours, and frantic searches led his brothers here, where he was found unresponsive in the water. A truck driver told the police that 3 of Asher's older brothers were already looking for the child in that area. Moments later, one of them pulled the boy from the water. Desperate attempts were made to resuscitate him. With the truck driver performing CPR, police rushed him to the PG hospital, where he was pronounced dead shortly after arrival.
Initial investigation suggests that sometime around 11 a.m., Mejia is believed to have left his residence, and his parents was of the view that he had accompanied siblings of his to a nearby store to purchase snacks. It was only when those siblings returned and Mejia was not along with him that they were aware of his disappearance. Efforts were made to discover him, and that concluded when he was found in the sea in the aforementioned area.
The toddler's death has stunned and saddened the southern town, as the child was only 3 years old and comes from a known family.
This is a very unfortunate situation that happened here yesterday in Punta Gorda town. And of course, we're all saddened by this news. But just to put comment, we just want to share that this is a police matter and investigation that is going on. We don't want to add any prejudice to this investigation at this time, but we do offer our sincere condolences to the family. I do know the child. He visited the Punta Gorda Library 2 weeks ago for child simulation. He was a very smart, friendly child. He enjoyed engaging with the toys when visited the library, and of course, the church that they attend. So I know him to be a very sweet child. He's only 3 years old, so that's as much as I can say.
3 years old, but questions are being raised about what kind of supervision he had at home, where his father is a pastor and his mother is a domestic. He had disappeared just the days before and turned back up.
What I've been advised by OC Punta Gorda is, I think, some 3 days prior, his parents would have visited the Punta Gorda police station and reported him missing after their efforts to locate him proved futile. However, shortly after that, he was located, I believe, in a little dark house in a neighbor's property. The parents suggested that given on this occasion that he had done something similar in the past, they had not reported it immediately, and this is the result.
As a result of a child alone adrift at sea, most alarming is that the wharf is a mile from the home on Pampana Street, a 15 or 20-minute walk even for an adult.
If this one, does police look at charging for negligence?
We have recorded statements, and those statements will be forwarded to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution for their guidance. What I will comment on is that the area where the child was found is reported to be some 1 mile away from his home. So this suggests that there was, for a considerable period of time, this child walking on the street, and that, for me, presented an opportunity for persons to have intercepted him and done the needful. This is not the first instance. I could recall with much regret the instance with baby Oriana from Stella Maris, where he was seen on the street, and again, persons did not intercede. I know Easter is coming up shortly, and there will be more children who will be at home, and though we encourage parents to certainly improve their supervision, there is also a role for those in society to play when these incidents happen and they observe these very young children or these children with diverse abilities on the street and without proper supervision.
Police are now reviewing surveillance cameras in an area to see how he entered the sea. Jaliza Roberts, 7 News.
We did speak to Asher's father, who declined a on-camera interview. He said he rejects claims that he and his wife were not taking care of their son, offering that his 6 surviving children are evidence that he knows how to care for young ones. Last week, we told you about the elderly Canadian man found dead on a catamaran that was adrift in Belizean waters about 8 miles off Kikaka. Only his wife was on board, and she was the one who made a distress call to a passing cruise ship. Today, police confirmed that it was not foul play.
In reference to the death investigation of Thomas David Harman, which commenced on Wednesday, 11 March 2026, on Friday, 26 March, the body of Mr. Harman underwent an autopsy examination, where at the conclusion, the finding was that he died as a consequence of multiple blunt force traumatic injuries due to a fall from height. As stated, the conclusion of the pathologist is that he fell from a height, and the circumstances are such that he was on board a boat. So I don't know if it is that the assumption would be somebody would have been up on the sail with him, because that is the suggestion that has been given. However, as I would have indicated on the last occasion, this is not a matter that falls within Belize's jurisdiction. Nonetheless, we have done our due diligence in terms of securing and processing the scene and obtaining relevant evidential material should the persons who have jurisdiction, which would be the flagship or the country for which Mr. Harman is a national, that we are able to competently provide them with that information for them to carry further investigation if they believe that foul play is involved.
There were more than 24 evidence markers on the ground following last week's murder near the East College Canal. A mother was grazed and both of her children were shot, but only one of them survived. And today police told us who they charged for murder and attempted murder.
As a consequence of police's ongoing investigation into the shooting incident, which claimed the life of Clinton Powell, police have formally arrested and charged 21-year-old Llewellyn Link, a Belizean of a Belize district address, for the crime of murder. Link was additionally charged for the crime of attempted murder, use of deadly means of harms, and dangerous harm in relation to Keandra Powell. The angle that is being pursued is in relation to the shooting incident, the murder of Mr. Saldano. No other person is being sought at this moment. However, the investigation continues.
Today, Llewellyn Link was arraigned in court and remanded. There was another shooting in the city last night, but it was non-fatal and may have been self-inflicted. ASP Stacey Smith told us more.
Police are investigating a shooting incident which resulted in the injury of Eric Mahler, a 24-year-old Belizean of a Farbers Road Extension address. The investigation commenced on Sunday, 15 March 2026 at approximately 6:45 p.m. when officers were alerted to the sounds of shots being fired on Fabers Road. Police responded where they observed some expended shells on the scene, and they later visited the Karl Kushner Memorial Hospital where they spoke with Mr. Mahler. Surveillance footage has been obtained and are being reviewed, and as additional progress are made in this investigation, the media will be advised.
Initial police investigation suggests that Mahler was on a motorcycle when he may have accidentally shot himself in the foot. After the break, we'll tell you about Henry, the problem Jaguar who was caught in Lemonal over the weekend. She's killed many dogs, but what will be done with the big cat now? We'll talk to the community and the experts. And what's the PM's plan for Budna? He let something slip on a morning show today. We'll tell you about it. Don't go away.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Get your body sculpted with gym equipment and accessories from Benny's. Quality and savings.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Calling. Double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Call me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Smart. Stay connected. Stay happy.
Imagine, a ref calls a technical on LeBron, ejects him, then walks to the bench, puts on a jersey, and checks into the game to take LeBron's place. WTH? That's what happened at the central bank. First, Kareem Michael was a deputy governor for financial supervision, basically the referee for the banks. And while he was in charge of that department, Choice Banks' license was cancelled. Not too long after, Mr. Michael resigned from the central bank and went as a paid private contractor to run the shutdown of the same Choice Bank. When he was finished, he simply walked right back into his old job at the central bank. Who does that? An arrogant Belizean public servant who knows all and thinks he's too big for his judgment to be questioned by anyone.
Compulsorily acquire a stake Bank Island.
But they're acquiring it for a private company.
The government has colluded with a bank to seize from a private owner.
No, the state is stealing his land.
This government used its power to take land from a Belizean developer to give to a foreign company.
And those are things that the U.S. government takes really seriously.
Washington noticed. They've been watching. So when the Prime Minister went begging for help,
Especially for the United States, we need equipment, we need intelligence.
But Washington's response? The United States invited 12 Central American and Caribbean heads of state to discuss border security. John Briceño was not invited. What does that tell you?
The U.S. is willing to sanction. They're willing to be aggressive and do whatever they can against these individuals who are taking these actions in these countries.
Secretary Rubio have the Department of State assess the current state of rule of law, judicial independence, and property rights protections in Belize.
$4.3 million was paid for legal and professional fees in relation to Petrocaribe. And another $4 million is projected to be spent every year for the next 3 years. $16 million in legal and professional advisory fees. What we done with Petrocaribe in 2016.
The government's blue bond carried another $85 million in transaction costs. That's tens of millions more in legal and advisory fees. So who's collecting?
Show those fees!
Exposed by Freedom of Information requests, the government admitted Courtney Coy LLP was paid $227,000 on just one disclosed contract. How many more are there? So while millions of dollars are being spent, the Prime Minister is begging Washington for help securing our borders.
It is important that we get the necessary assistance, especially from the United States. We need equipment. We need intelligence.
But there's no shortage of millions for legal and advisory services.
Who is getting those legal and professional advisory fees?
It's time to come clean, Mr. Prime Minister.
We have centralized systems of corruption in this government.
Hello, I am Dr. Rosado, a pediatrician, and today I want to talk to parents about rotavirus and how we can protect our children. Rotavirus is a virus that causes severe water, diarrhea, and vomiting. This can lead to severe dehydration and may require hospitalization if not treated promptly. The good news is that diarrhea caused by rotavirus is preventable by vaccines. The vaccine is safe, effective, and available at all nearest health centers. It is given in drops orally at 2, 4, and 6 months of age. Protect your child against severe diarrhea. Visit your nearest clinic today.
In a democracy, what is good for the government cannot be bad for the people. And what is good for the people cannot be bad for the government.
We came a long way. It's like over 16 years that it was basically like 2 tree houses in that area.
It was wild.
One high bush
Wild,
like jungle.
I want to take my lick. Say no water, no light. I tell her no worry about that. We have figured it out.
You know, you wonder how long it will take for this to happen.
A year ago, you were considered squatters.
We made a picado and we came in.
I made a teenager.
Everybody said it was swamp, it was swamp. When we get in here, it was like gold.
Today, you're landowners.
Very
This that for we, and we proud of this.
Now we're claiming our house on the land.
We have worked so hard to make this happen for us.
This is a beautiful day, folks, because we are taking care of the people who have taken care of us. Because we wouldn't be here today without you.
At Atlantic Bank, we stand as more than just a financial institution. We are your partners in progress, dedicated to fostering your success by providing tailored solutions to micro, small, and medium enterprises. Your successes are our triumphs, and every success story deserves to be celebrated. We pledge to stand by you every step of the way. Today, we celebrate the values that define you with your unwavering dedication, steadfast commitment, boundless innovation, resolute work ethic, and unyielding ambition. We will navigate challenges, seize opportunities, and continue building the future together.
Juliancho Technical High School rolled out the education upliftment program in the school year 2025-2026. Under this program, first farm students are able to get free uniform, 3 sets of uniform, and all students at Juliancho Technical High School receive free tuition, free meals. In addition, all students are provided with transportation to school and back at home daily. Most of the parents are very grateful for this opportunity as it is a rural area and one that has economic hardship.
Most times I would think, why don't I just stop school and try help them around? Because money, financially, it may a bit hard, but with this upliftment program, it balanced our lives out to creating a better environment for both me and my sister.
It hurted a bit seeing my grandparents struggle, trying to find $1 here and then to send me to school. I was sad, I was depressed, I didn't feel the urge to come to school anymore. But now, with this upliftment program, it helped me a lot and I really want to further my education.
We were financially burdened and we were struggling and it was very stressful. But when we heard this project has been in play, it has decreased the financial burden. And also recently, since I was diagnosed with lupus, financially, it has played a big part of our life. It was mentally challenging to say the least. Also couldn't concentrate very good. But now with this project, everything just flow more smoothly.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We told you last week that Lemonal villagers have been losing their pets to a jaguar in their area. Over the weekend, that jaguar, a male named Henry, was captured for the second time. Henry got his name because he was first found near the Agriculture and Natural Resource Institute in Stank Creek after he had killed up to 20 dogs. While the zoo was instrumental in his first capture, the Forestry Department and CSFI later put a GPS collar on the jaguar and set him free in the north, where he eventually made his way to Lemonal and returned to preying on dogs. And though he was captured again this time, Henry might not make it back out into the wild. Courtney Menzies has this story.
This is Henry, the jaguar that's been terrorizing the villagers of Lemonal. He was first captured last year, relocated, and found his way back to a populated area. But while Henry has been prowling in the dark and killing dogs for some time, he was finally caught on Sunday in a trap which used a dead calf as bait. The cage was placed in Nicole Anthony's yard, the resident who we spoke to last time. Anthony told us that while she's glad Henry won't be eating any more dogs, she feels that the entire situation could have been handled better.
I spot the light at the cage at the back, and I saw 2 red eyes moving, and I was like, yes, we get her. And I called out to the young man in the house to go to traverse with me further in the yard. And when I spotted properly on the cage, direct on the cage, I saw it eating on the dead calf. We didn't get no disclosure about this animal because they tracked it. They know where it was. Whenever they came in the village, they can tell us directly where the jaguar is situated. Also, because on the Love FM News morning show, I heard Mr. Pineo, I hope that's the proper pronunciation. He was saying like the trap was set there 1 or 2 days before, but the trap was in the yard from February 25th. And this is when it already killed 13 dogs. It went in that cage. It was not only Bruno, but poor little Bruno gets celebrity overnight in death. But people, it was not only Bruno that was killed by the jaguar.
She added that she knows jaguars will always be lurking around their area, but she believes the communication between the forestry department and the residents could have prevented a lot of lost pets.
I personally isn't upset. I know my dogs got killed, but I know those are endangered species and we are their habitat is all over the country. Belize is very small. And those things, as much as us, have to survive. What I am upset about is that they could have notified us so that better precaution could have been taken. That's the only issue I have, serious issue, that they didn't communicate with us from the beginning, and so we could have done something like protect our animals. I believe that we weren't respected enough. We weren't respected, and that's what is upsetting, because they could have notified us that there would have been no meeting yesterday because the Jaguar has been caught, yes, but they could have come, highlight on the don'ts and the do and don'ts, and not only that, they could have told us, give us more information about it. It already gave us hell. So we just wanted to know, and yes, they choose not to have the meeting again, but they could have informed the chair lady.
And today, the chief forest officer explained that there was a lot of chaos surrounding Henry's capture, and that was one of the reasons why there was a lack of communication. But where is Henry now? According to John Pinello, his injuries are being treated, and he is not being kept in that small metal cage he was captured in.
Henry is being assessed as we speak. It is being held at a location up north, and we have a full-time vet doing a health assessment on the animal. Preliminary report is that it is riddled with screwworms, and one of its canine is freshly broken. So those are two things that need to be addressed immediately, and will take a few weeks to deal with screwworms. We can't just take out the larva and let it go. The bugs will just fly back and pitch there and get it infected again. So it has to be treated. But it is being held at a safe location. When we got the animal, its entire face was bleeding, its nose was bleeding, and I was made to understand that people were hitting it with bars in its face. So that might have been one of the reasons for it to break as well. I can't blame anybody. Like I says, any of those two options might be the reason why. But we realize that it does have a canine missing, and that will need to be extracted, because if it is left like that, it'll get infected and it can kill the animal. Henry is being held in a fairly big enclosure, and take my word for it, it cannot harm itself in the building that it is in.
Pinello added that due to his broken canine, it is unlikely that Henry will be released back into the wild.
I don't think it can be rewilded, but I will wait for the experts to give me that determination. Almost certainly, if it cannot, it will need to go to a zoo. I have already spoken to Mr. Pot from the zoo, Belize Zoo, and he is willing to take the animal if that is the option that we make. But for right now, we will have to address the immediate health issues with the cat and try and get it as healthy as it can be before we decide where it goes. Like I said, almost certainly it will not be released again.
And while Henry was stressed after his capture, Pinello reports that he is much calmer today. Courtney Menzies, 7 News.
Tomorrow, we will bring you the story of 2 other conflict cats who were captured and rehabilitated by the zoo as part of their human jaguar conflict program. Joseph Budna has not been in the headlines recently, but he is still imprisoned in Guatemala City, serving out his sentence after he was extrajudicially extradited from Belize. But might he be returned to Belize soon? Well, this morning the Prime Minister explained that he will propose a prisoner exchange to the cabinet in order for Budna to be back on Belizean soil, but still serve the remainder of his sentence. Here's what he said this morning on Love FM's morning show.
I'm going to to recommend to Cabinet, and I've been discussing it with a few ministers, is to see if from government to ask for Budna to be returned to Belize, but to go to jail. We do that with Mexico from time to time. We have prisoner exchanges, but the agreement is that, you have to spend the time in jail.
But the whole
here.
investigation.
So
of his
I don't know how
kidnapping.
much years he has left in his case over there. So if he has 10 more years, for instance, we will give an assurances to the government of Guatemala that he will spend the time in jail here, so to bring him back.
Do you see us getting closure on this whole investigation? Because unfortunately, it's one of those things that keeps coming up, and people are looking at it.
Well,
to
we have given a free hand to the DPP, so it's on the DPP's hands.
Budna was sentenced to 25 years in Guatemala in 2013 and escaped back to Belize in 2019. And though our newsroom, along with XTV, was waiting outside to speak with the PM after the show, he slipped past us and got into his vehicle, claiming that he had to get to work. It's the third time in a week that he's denied giving interviews to the press. The first was at the House meeting on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday at the Ministry of E-Governance's MOU signing. Here's how the third snub in a week looked this morning.
3 times PM.
Sir, your personal friend. Gone, I take it personal. Take care of him. Right here. Stop! What's up, sir? What?
And this gonna work? Really?
I know
Make it up.
This is 3 times in a row. Well, Courtney, you should feel totally dejected.
And maybe he was rushing to Belmopan for the next signing, to which the press was also not invited. Today, the Prime Minister signed a loan agreement with the Taiwan ICDF to explain and expand, that is, and rehabilitate the Philip Golson Highway. The second loan targets improving Belize's workforce by modernizing employment services with the help of IDB. At the signing ceremony, MIDH Minister Espat underscored the importance of the Golson Highway.
It is my distinct honor on behalf of the government and the people of Belize to participate in today's signing ceremony for the co-financing agreement that will support one of our country's most important transportation investments, the expansion and rehabilitation of the Philip Golson Highway. The project represents a major step forward in our national commitment to modernizing critical infrastructure and strengthening the backbone of Belize's economic connectivity. The Philip Golson Highway is more than just a roadway. It is one of Belize's most vital transportation corridors, linking Belize City with the northern districts and serving as a key route for commerce, tourism, agriculture, and international trade. Every day, thousands of Belizeans depend on this highway for work, business, education, and family life. Ensuring that it is safe, efficient, and resilient is therefore a national priority. Through this project, approximately 26.5 kilometers of roadway will be rehabilitated and upgraded to modern engineering standards. The scope of works includes the reconstruction of the road base and subbase, improvements to both vertical and horizontal alignments to enhance safety, upgraded drainage systems to reduce flooding vulnerability, and the installation of new road safety features and delineation. Additional improvements will include hot mix asphalt pavement, construction of sidewalks and side drains, and the installation of a concrete roundabout to improve traffic management and safety.
This program addresses the challenge. It is designed to expand opportunity by helping Belizeans enter the labor force and build in demand skills through relevant, quality-focused training in priority sectors as tourism, business process outsourcing, and communication technologies. This program will strengthen the Labor Department and its 10 offices countrywide. Employment services will become more responsive and more effective through digital job matching platforms, improved labor market information systems, and enhanced case management. The program focuses on young people, women, and migrants, addressing key constraints to their participation, such as digital training and access to child care. Furthermore, the focus on employability is part of the continuous work that the IDB and the government of Belize are doing in education.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, the Auditor General appeared before the Public Accounts Committee on Friday, and she gave a withering assessment of the state of government's accounts. You'll hear some of it. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
At Cellular World, we believe technology shouldn't just be functional. It should make your home uniquely yours. Design your smart home with the full range of Samsung appliances and TVs. Equip your kitchen with smart and stylish fridges, advanced microwaves, and whisper-quiet dishwashers, bringing smart living to the heart of your home. Make daily tasks simple with efficient smart washers, powerful dryers, or an all-in-one laundry hub that adapts to your lifestyle. Experience true-to-life colors and spot-on sound with the Samsung Q LED Smart TV. Connect all your spaces instantly with the Smart Thing app for seamless control wherever you go. Get all your Samsung products today with the peace of mind that only the 1-year warranty from the authorized distributor can give you. So stop by your favorite location and start designing your smart home today. Only at Cellular World.
Cada conexión es más que solo una señal, es un estudiante abriendo las puertas a su futuro a través de la educación digital. Una mente joven atreviéndose a soñar en grande. Nuestra cultura compartida con el mundo en tiempo real. Y héroes cotidianos respondiendo al llamado del deber cívico. Cuando nos conectamos con Digi, empoderamos a Belice.
Fans are filling up the gyms to see exciting NABL games. And this weekend, Week 5 showcase 3 mega matchups. On Friday night, the Belize City Defenders try to keep the Corozal Spartans winless with a must-win game to stay in the hunt for the 70K at the Belize Civic Center. Then on Saturday night, another mega showdown at the Belize Civic Center as the number 2 team, the Biting Tiger Sharks, goes up against the Rough and went tough. Dan Grigga Dream Ballers in a war. And in Cayo at the Victor Galvez Stadium, who run the West? As the rolling Cayo Western Ballers goes up against the Belmopan Trojans. The NABL girls giveaways along with the National Sports Council halftime $5,000 shooting challenge. So this weekend, make it another NABL weekend, sponsored by the government of Belize.
First name Tifa.
Who thief Budna? Anybody know? Who thief Budna? Who beat her? Who abduct her? Who carry her across this country?
It violated his Belizean constitutional rights. The investigation was less than nothing.
But I was also expecting that there would have been nothing in the file. What I was not expecting was that there would be less than nothing in the file.
Now the PM wants him back.
See if from government to government ask for Budna to be returned to Belize.
So who thief Budna?
I was beaten badly.
Does this mean that the PM knows?
Well, that allegation has been done from the very start.
Is the PM trying to correct a wrong done by his administration?
If a thief, I can know who thief.
I want to share why this work is so urgent. My mother is 75 years old. She's blind. She has lived by the sea for 75 years. Today, my mother cannot see the stones you guys are placing to protect her home. But she can hear. Every night she sits in her home and hear the waves beating at her door. To most people, that song is peaceful. But to my mother, the song is a countdown. It is the song of the land she loves being stolen inch by inch. For years, the song has been a dark shadow over our lives. I look at our student here today, their bright little faces. We need your help to make sure that when these children grow up to be 75, they are sitting in their homes and aren't afraid of the sea.
The whole design of the T is to catch the sand as it walks past Monkey River. Literally what you see is the sand comes from the river, goes out to sea. The sea was clogged with mud and sand, so the river pushed the sand out like it used to. One, we have less flooding. We have a lot of drainage on the way to Monkey River. The water is not there, but as you can see, we moved the sand over. Now nature will walk it down with time.
There is an area between the burial ground and where the village is that needs some attention as well, and so it will be addressed right away since PM has approved some additional finance to continue the project in Monkey River.
I am very proud that Minister Osman Martinez, the area representative, along with Oscar Kenya, they saw the necessity, one as the area representative and one as the Minister of Rural Transformation. And then along with the support from my office that we managed to do this, showed us that we just need to put a little bit more investment and we can do the entire area. So I said, you know what, give me an estimate, we're going to do it. We are going to save Monkey River village and going to make it into one of the more beautiful villages in the country.
Compulsorily acquire Stake Bank Island.
But they're acquiring it for a private company.
The government has colluded with a bank to seize from a private owner.
No, the state is stealing his land.
This government used its power to take land from a Belizean developer to give to a foreign company.
And those are things that the U.S. government takes really seriously.
Washington noticed. They've been watching. So when the Prime Minister went begging for help,
President of the United States, we need equipment, we need intelligence.
But Washington's response? The United States invited 12 Central American and Caribbean heads of state to discuss border security. John Briceño was not invited. What does that tell you?
The U.S. is willing to sanction. They're willing to be aggressive and do whatever they can against these individuals who are taking these actions in these countries.
Secretary Rubio have the Department of State assess the current state of rule of law, judicial independence, and property rights protections in Belize.
4.3 million was paid for legal and professional fees in relation to Petrocaribe. And another 4 million is projected to be spent every year for the next 3 years. 16 million in legal and professional advisory fees. What we done in Petrocaribe in 2016.
The government's blue bond carried another 85 million in transaction costs. That's tens of millions more in legal and advisory fees. So who's collecting?
Show those fees!
Exposed by Freedom of Information requests, the government admitted Courtney Coy LLP was paid $227,000 on just one disclosed contract. How many more are there? So while millions of dollars are being spent, the Prime Minister is begging Washington for help securing our borders.
It is important that we get the necessary assistance, especially from the United States. We need equipment. We need intelligence.
But there's no shortage of millions for legal and advisory services.
Who is getting those legal and professional advisory fees?
It's time to come clean, Mr. Prime Minister.
We have centralized systems of corruption in this government.
Imagine, a ref calls a technical on LeBron, ejects him, then walks to the bench, puts on a jersey, and checks into the game to take LeBron's place. WTH? That's what happened at the central bank. First, Kareem Michael was a deputy governor for financial supervision, basically the referee for the banks. And while he was in charge of that department, Choice Banks' license was cancelled. Not too long after, Mr. Michael resigned from the central bank and went as a paid private contractor to run the shutdown of the same Choice Bank. When he was finished, he simply walked right back into his old job at the central bank. Who does that? An arrogant Belizean public servant who knows all and thinks he's too big for his judgment to be questioned by anyone.
I'm Randall Friesen and I manage Westbell Produce, better known as Granny's Foods. That's our main brand. So we offer high quality grains, beans, rice, and we also offer corn chips made from 100% locally grown corn. We saw a need for high quality locally produced products. A lot of the best products are being exported, and we said, we need to keep some of the best products here in Belize rather than export everything. Atlantic Bank has helped us achieve our goals by providing the financing for us to be able to launch products faster than we would without the financing that they offer. We find that Atlantic Bank is very customer friendly, especially with small and medium-sized businesses. We find that Atlantic Bank is more than willing to go the extra mile. They try to understand your business. So when we go to Atlantic Bank with a certain need, we find that they try to develop a solution that will meet our specific need. I would encourage any small business owner to go to Atlantic Bank for their financial services. They're very friendly. And just overall, their service is excellent.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
The Joint Public Accounts Committee met on Friday in Belmopan. It's the most powerful committee in the House because through years of practical political reform, it has come to be chaired by the opposition and populated by a majority of non-government members. That alone makes it the most powerful House committee. And on Friday, when they met to examine the reports of Auditor General Maria Rodriguez and review matters with regards to the spending of public funds, she gave a withering account of the state of government record keeping and accountability for public spending. She offered the following assessment in reference to the 2016-2017 audit of the government's finances, which, as she described it, is made up of just numbers on a paper with no verification.
What a disclaimer means, and I know you explain why you give one, but what does a disclaimer mean?
It essentially means that I cannot confirm the reliability of the financial statements nor their accuracy.
And does that also mean that these financial statements cannot be relied on by users?
Fully agree. The statements, the way they are presented, we cannot rely on them at this point.
So to a large extent, these financial statements are relatively useless, except that it gives an insight into the situation that exists.
Yes, yes. It's basically numbers that we cannot confirm. And as such, as Auditor General, I don't want to say everything is okay because we cannot confirm them. The lack of reconciliations, the lack of source documents. What I think is happening or happened back then is that they were posting but did not have any intent of retaining the source document. Typical examples, if when you go to make a simple purchase to any business, if you don't get an invoice back from that business to go and pay, you don't know what you're paying for. And we've done investigations where the invoices that are attached to the SmartStream payment, and then you visit the business has a complete different source document than what the accounting officers have in their ministries. So you find that while we're paying for a tablet, that person actually got a laptop. At this point, even the losses, if there was any, we cannot even quantify to the assembly as to whether there was any loss, because we cannot go through a bank statement, we cannot go through check stubs, we cannot go through reconciliations to see what has transpired. So there is a high possibility that fraud may have occurred and we cannot pick up on it. It is really a big systematic issue. Nobody is really worrying or concerned about these source documents. And is that something 10 years ago? It is existing right now. We can visit entities and they are saying they don't have they don't have documents for present year.
And apart from gaping documentary gaps, there is also no reconciliation. This is business basics, ensuring that two sets of records, usually an internal balance and an external statement, are in agreement. For example, with a bank reconciliation, a company compares its internal record of cash against a statement provided by the bank. But with government, well, nah, none of that.
At the level of Accountant General's Department, reconciliation is highly, highly important. She manages all the bank accounts for the government, and what we saw is that these commercial bank accounts were not being reconciled. Not even the ones from central bank are being reconciled, which is it's a big problem. But even in individual ministries, when you visit and do individual audits of these ministries, bank reconciliation is not being carried out. It's a big issue. Circumstances or excuses are that we have too much to do, it's too much in our hands, and I have nobody to do reconciliation. But reconciliation is part of the accounting process. There's no way you can tell yourself that I manage a bank account and I don't reconcile.
There are reconciliation in other areas as well that are not taking place. Am I right?
Yes, definitely. It seems not to be a practice. It has been ignored for many years, and even when you highlight it to them, this is important. The excuses are, I don't have who to do it. I don't have, but finance officers are employed for that reason, to reconcile the bank accounts.
And when the 2016-2017 audit was being compiled, Rodriguez said she did not get cooperation from key CEOs.
We wrote the CEO to invite for the meeting, and the CEO did not respond. So it went as high as the CEO.
When you say the CEO did not respond, means that person would just ignored your requests for cooperation within the department.
You see, when they don't respond, that's how exactly it looks. It could be that they missed my email. It could be that it went to spam. It could be that it went to the junk. But we ensure to copy their finance officers. So even if the CEO did not see, someone within the management team would have seen the email and could have brought it up to the CEO's attention. So clearly, that is how it appears, that you do not want to collaborate.
This was across the ministries?
For 2016, 2017, we did have some delayed responses, but most people responded. I highlighted the lands department, because the lands department is part of our regulations in the financial orders to review for arrears of revenue.
And the CO in that ministry did not respond to
They did not respond to the request for meeting.
And Rodriguez explained that this process of locking out the constitutionally enshrined Auditor General persists to the present day.
That I was trying to do cash surveys, a simple, routine cash survey, which is to just check the cash pan to see that what you collected yesterday is correct. And I was not allowed to enter two entities. And I will highlight it because this is my opportunity. Baja and Border Management Agency told my staff that they are not government entities. And I fully disagree because the Constitution gives me all the right to go and do a cash survey to these authorities. So I want to put it out here. It will be placed in my subsequent audit report because it is important to highlight this. I am still receiving rejection from government entities.
We'll take our final break now. When we come back, the U.S. may be rejecting asylum seekers hand over fist, but Belize is refining ways to accept them. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
Compulsorily acquire Stake Bank Island.
But they're acquiring it for a private company.
The government has colluded with a bank to seize from a private owner.
No, the state is stealing his land.
This government used its power to take land from a Belizean developer to give to a foreign company.
And those are things that the U.S. government takes really seriously.
Washington noticed. They've been watching. So when the Prime Minister went begging for help,
Especially from the United States, we need equipment, we need intelligence.
But Washington's response? The United States invited 12 Central American and Caribbean heads of state to discuss border security. John Briceño was not invited. What does that tell you?
The U.S. is willing to sanction. They're willing to be aggressive and do whatever they can against these individuals who are taking these actions in these countries.
Secretary Rubio have the Department of State assess the current state of rule of law, judicial independence, and property rights protections in Belize.
Imagine, a ref calls a technical on LeBron, ejects him, then walks to the bench, puts on a jersey, and checks into the game to take LeBron's place. WTH? That's what happened at the central bank. First, Kareem Michael was a deputy governor for financial supervision, basically the referee for the banks. And while he was in charge of that department, Choice Banks' license was cancelled. Not too long after, Mr. Michael resigned from the central bank and went as a paid private contractor to run the shutdown of the same Choice Bank. When he was finished, he simply walked right back into his old job at the central bank. Who does that? An arrogant Belizean public servant who knows all and thinks he's too big for his judgment to be questioned by anyone.
Hey Belize! Our country is known worldwide for its natural beauty, from our barrier reef to our rainforest. But there's a growing threat to our paradise. Global plastic production has skyrocketed to 400 million tons per year, and without action, plastic waste flowing into our waters will nearly triple by 2040, from around 11 million tons in 2016 to around 29 million tons in 2040. Here at home, the situation is just as concerning. In 2024 alone, Belize imported over 13.3 million plastics and over 12 million plastic lids and caps. What might seem like just one plastic bottle or one chips bag adds up quickly. During our National Cleanup Day, almost 26,000 plastic bottles were collected, and that's just one day of effort. But here's the good news. We can all be part of the solution. Use waste bins, keep a litter bag in your car? Wait until you find a proper disposal site. These simple actions make a real difference. Join us in keeping Belize clean. Our Belize, our responsibility. Bini.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. We continue to serve you.
En Atlantic Bank, tu comodidad es nuestra prioridad. Nuestro centro de contacto está diseñado para mejorar tu experiencia bancaria. Con una amplia gama de opciones de servicio al cliente, ahorras tiempo y esfuerzo. Puedes llamar fácilmente para bloquear o desbloquear tus tarjetas de débito y crédito, realizar consultas de cuentas y acceder a información detallada de tus tarjetas. Ya sea que necesites asistencia con la banca en línea, apoyo para comercios o consultas generales, nuestro equipo está listo para ayudarte. Para mayor comodidad, si todos los operadores están ocupados, puedes dejar tu número y un operador te devolverá la llamada lo antes posible para asegurarse de que recibas el apoyo que necesitas. Para mayor seguridad, es posible que necesitemos verificar tu identidad con un conjunto de preguntas sencillas. Recuerda, Atlantic Bank nunca solicitará tu nombre de tu usuario ni contraseña de Atlantic Online por llamada telefónica, mensaje de texto o correo electrónico, asegurando que tu información personal permanezca segura y protegida. Nuestro equipo de apoyo está disponible de lunes a viernes, de 8 a.m. a 6 p.m., en inglés y en español. Simplemente marca al 223-1212. Esta es la línea dedicada para nuestro centro de contacto. Atlantic Bank se compromete a brindarte un servicio excepcional y las herramientas que necesitas para administrar tus finanzas de manera conveniente y segura. Aprovecha al máximo nuestro servicio del centro de contacto.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Belize just celebrated Reef Week, but over the weekend, gill nets were discovered in one of the biggest and most prized reefs in the hemisphere. The Corona Reef lies between Belize and Guatemala, and though it is a marine treasure, the Belize Territorial Volunteers, along with XTV's Mose Hyde, pulled up several gill nets from the area. Based on these videos provided by PGTV, it does not seem like any marine life was caught in the net. Today, HelpAge Punta Gorda hosted a health and wellness talk focusing on obesity, bringing over 30 elder persons together. During the activity, attendees received obesity education and dietary health awareness guidance, while health personnel also conducted BMI readings and blood pressure screenings. We spoke with Chairperson Lenessa Duncan, who explained it.
We had a health and fitness session with Hecopab and Hillside. Miss Bennett from Hecopab, she did the topic was obesity, and Hillside did the stretches with the elders. It's very important to get the elders active and out. Many of the times we focus more on the youths than the elders. So with HelpAge, we advocate for the elders. Currently, we're trying to do a fitness session every Friday. We'll call it Fitness Fridays, but it's once a month.
The event took place this morning at the Robert K. Pennell HelpAge Center. The Ministry of Immigration has partnered with UNHCR's UN Refugee Agency and the government of Japan to enhance Belize's asylum system. It's being done through the implementation of innovative digital solutions and improving data management and collection. The system is being designed to modernize registration and case processing, improve the accuracy and reliability of data, and strengthen preparedness for increased asylum needs while ensuring confidentiality and data protection. Here are the highlights from the launch ceremony today in Belmopan.
I welcome the opportunity to join you for the launch of the project, Support to Strengthening the Asylum System and Protection for Refugees in Belize. This initiative is a result of the strong relationship amongst the government of Belize, the government of Japan, and the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. Though we are here representing institutions, even as individuals, we all believe in justice, responsible governance, and protection for persons who seek safety and stability. I extend sincere appreciation to the government of Japan for its generous financial contribution of $667,000 to support this initiative. This investment increases our national capacity and reinforces the systems that protect individuals who seek international protection within Belize.
The main goal of the project is to support the government of Belize develop a modern digital asylum case management system to streamline registration, case processing, and reporting. Alongside digitalization, the project will also support the government in reviewing and harmonizing the Refugees Act and related legislation. This work is essential to ensuring that Belize's legal framework is coherent, aligned with international standards, and equipped to provide clear, fair, and protection-sensitive pathways for those seeking asylum.
Japan values its long-term friendship with Belize and remains committed to the working closely with our partner to support initiatives that strengthen real rights and uphold human dignity. Thank you.
Finally, tonight, we note the passing of a well-loved sportscaster and educator, Ruben Morales Ingleses. The 65-year-old died this afternoon after suffering a stroke last week, which sent him into a coma. He was taken off life support at 4:30 today. He was a career sportscaster who started his career decades ago at the Broadcasting Corporation of Belize and then transitioned to Love FM and later to Breaking Belize News. Ingleses was well regarded for his deep knowledge of sports and his lively, passionate delivery. And that's all we have for you for our newscast tonight. Thanks for watching with your news. I'm Indira Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a great night. Join me back here tomorrow at 6.